All right, we're just gonna do our best here. The lighting's a little off. Hi Leo, this is your January 2024 Capricorn season reading. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the extended version of this reading, which will be in the first link below, but give it about 24 to 48 hours for it to appear there. All right, and let's get into your reading. I'm gonna let the cards fall out first, but there's something about rituals that I do want to talk about with you. Or if you have been thinking about rituals or something of the sort, routine, we'll talk about that as well. The Six of Wands. There's a extra emphasis on sureness, readiness, confidence, something that you naturally have. But there's something different, something that's changed, something in the areas of growth, perhaps, that maybe you're seeing yourself, seeing and even feeling through these changes. It's just like how you approach people, you can approach yourself. Like, how are you going, what part of you, if there's something going on in your life, like, are you willing to hear yourself out? Do you need to take a minute, but you won't give yourself a minute because you want answers right away? Like, how do you, so those are all like kind of different examples of how you can also approach other people. What you're finding, perhaps, is that this is, you may be even asking for help internally to your source or to a physical person who you can really trust in, someone who can, but this is also you building that part of yourself. You may have realized that you want to be someone that people maybe feel safe with, that you feel safe with, even more so emotionally, that you know, and you, in any time, even though you can't predict everything, we can't predict everything all the time, that you'll be good and that you can continue, right? That's a big part of the bigger picture of these cards. And the World card may be showing you that, you know, in order to get there, you have to allow yourself to see it and see where you've been holding maybe yourself back. Because sometimes that card is like you're holding yourself back, or you've been blind to something, or it's you that's in control, but you're making excuses. You know, there's different ways of saying the same thing, but they all mean something different at a different time. So right now, if you're being revealed something that has power, then this will only allow you to add more power to whatever skills you're honing in on. This is a very fixed reading, even though we're in Capricorn season. We have the World, the fixed signs. Then we have this we have mutable energy here too, which is Mercury's in Capricorn. This is the skill here, the mastery for Leo is this confidence, is courage, is self-worth. Ruled by the sun, do you ever get some shade? Yeah, of course. You know, you also have to like give it to yourself at times. No shade. Funny how that works. This is different though. This is a confidence to build whatever it is that you individually see for yourself, feel for yourself. This is something different. You feel there's a freshness to what is happening. So this is an overall general theme of also the year in this month, but this is also very literal for a lot of you. It's you needing to confidently approach yourself in a way that's open to be able to reflect back and see, oh, I understand what maybe I was afraid of or resistant to. I understand what I'm learning here. The sureness comes with a lot of ability to mentally, well, it can appear that you have like mental control. Because do we ever fully? That's a philosophical question that we can get into the next part. The control that you do have, though, is the information that you have, the information that you've been obtaining. Because you're this month, you may be going through something more internal that comes out, and through your actions, you may feel more receptive to others. So others may share with you, even though you don't feel so inclined to be as direct in the sharing. Maybe you make light of some things, but that's for you. And it's because there's a situation where you have information and you know that you can use it to your advantage in a way that isn't so obvious, because you never know, like there's some things that you're protecting. Maybe, yeah, there's a bigger situation, like a bigger involvement that you may be protecting yourself from at this time. And that's why the beginning of the month is a great emphasis on how you're feeling and how you're approaching yourself, because that's the biggest key to how you want to approach the second half of the season and into Aquarius season, especially mentally and strategically. So this month is a little bit about strategizing, but here's where ritual comes into play, because I'm being reminded of that at this time, that maybe your ritual, there's something you do every day that helps you clean and cleanse your energy of others. Because sometimes when we don't realize that it can be a distraction. This is the bottom of the deck. There could be a distraction and then we mentally go through these cycles that can be avoided if we're willing to let go of whatever we can't control just for the day, just for today even, which can be a prayer in itself. You let go of whatever you need to mentally just for the day, just for the moment. And that can give you the softness and the receptivity to approach yourself with open arms when it doesn't feel so good to learn something maybe about yourself and how you've been experiencing yourself through the self-worth journey. If you have had a teetering relationship with that, or for some of you, it's about seeing someone else that way that you've held in high regard. And remembering that you're not someone, well, you can idolize people and you can put people on pedestals, but you also understand like the ego of it all, and you learn from it and you see it and you like that play. But then you're reminded through spontaneous things showing up. Like sometimes we don't know that we're going to hear something crazy, and then all of a sudden we do, and you have a reaction to it, and you didn't realize that you felt a certain way about someone or the situation, and you can notice that now, because the magician can also show deception. So it's, yes, that's, I guess, the skill, right? It's the skill that comes with, or the gift, or the addition of learning about your self-worth and acknowledging this growth, that you gain a skill, the confidence, and then some will say confidence is a skill. So the skill of confidence and this continuous change and movement, and that as long as you feel complete, you're okay with like moving forward into the next. But there may be a moment where you have to decide regardless. And I think that's more of like a yearly process, because the fixed signs are going through a shift as well. Yeah, and if there is someone who maybe tries to antagonize you or tries to make you lose your cool, Leo, this month, it's best to remember what you're protecting. If you feel so inclined, we didn't know, Capricorn is one of the most protective signs, especially if they love someone, and I think you can attest to that. So this mercurial energy will shed light on some things that feel like, oh, I didn't realize that just because I love this person, I didn't want to maybe acknowledge something about them. But then you realize that that's what love is about, and you rule over the heart. But then you may find some releases through your joints at this time. Maybe you find that you're more creative with your hands this month as well, and that intensifies this skill that you're acquiring. And it may cause you to have to maybe act upon something you didn't think you had to. And this something could be to do with this whole perception shifting. You realize, like, and you're maybe gathering like how people treat you and how you've treated others, and you're starting to maybe shift something about that, and it's revealing to you what feels vulnerable, maybe in a way that you, sorry, one of my kitties, in a way that you I guess I'm going to use her, in a way that you may feel small about, in a way that you may not feel like, it's almost like when you are doing something and you're being watched or interviewed, or you have to like show your skills to someone, you have to perform. Okay, Leo, we're going to use that. You have to perform, and it's a different kind of performance, or it's different from the norm, or you're shifting or changing, and that's influencing the performance, and and it's just your life, so it's your performance of your life, so it's not like you're, writing this out every moment, but you're revealing it. So the beginning of the month is the 6th, and at the end we have the 9, so we have the spirals. A lot will make sense to you in terms of what you're finishing right now, what you're wrapping up, and what you're letting out, and how they work together. And you may notice that influences decisions that you make, that influences how you choose to be and move throughout the rest of this month, throughout the rest, maybe even your life. This month has a lot of life-changing habits and decisions for a lot of us, but it's not something, for everyone it's different, right? You have to check your Capricorn placements because a lot has shifted into Capricorn, but there's a lot of directivity, and it may feel like you're ending the month without finishing completely, but when you look back in a couple months, you'll realize that you did. It just doesn't always feel like that. And for you, I feel like it normally does. But that may hit you later into the next season. But we'll get into that into the next part, because I do see that here. So this Magician right in the center, this alchemical shift within yourself, from emotions to worth, into how your body feels, even through your nervous system. So maybe take extra care of your nervous system this month with the World card as well. And notice what comes to you. Notice what you attract without even trying. It's just, you'll notice what you attract. What kind of people and situations. I just want to be patient. I realize that there's some things that that can come to me after, and I think it's important to be a little bit more patient and present in this next set of readings, and I share that with you because I really hope to accomplish that. If you feel like you're up against yourself, you're actually really just learning to work with who you're becoming. And that sometimes we don't have control over, but how we respond is what we do have control over. So technically we do, which is like what? But it's the illusion, the deception. And you realize you try to find control where you can. And that is, I think, where you find victory. And you will run into, this month feels like there's a test too for everyone almost. It's like you may run into something where you're just preparing. And I talked to Taurus about that, and I was wondering why I wanted to put you guys, the fixed signs, together, and I realized there's a theme through the cardinal, fixed, and mutable that rolls throughout each this month, and it's, you know, your ability to really, you may feel even surprised by how much feel like you need to define this about yourself, and then all of a sudden you realize why. And that could leave you feeling more protective of yourself. But all in all, I don't feel like it's harming you. I would hope not. Also, if there's that happening, definitely seek out professional guidance. It's not, you know, I'm not a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, or that. But we'll get into the next part right now. We'll talk more about it all. And yeah. This month is not, there's no cups out except for on that Magician's Table sets. I really want to get into that as well. It's not nothing's hiding. Everything's straightforward this month, Leo. We'll see you next month, and all information is below.